Hi everyone, it's Natalie from nellydesign.com. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can import an SVG file and make two projects in one cut. This will be possible by making a couple of simple steps in Design Space and using Infusible Ink. Therefore, I'm going to make mugs with the Cricut mug press, but you could also make t-shirts, tote bag, whatever you like. So let's go right away into Design Space, but stay until the end because I'm going to explain to you the difference between heat transfer vinyl and Infusible Ink and why Infusible Ink is really crucial to make this two-in-one project. So in Cricut Design Space, you're going to start by clicking on New Project. And then we're going to upload the SVG file. So you're really going to need to download it, save it onto your computer where you can find it, and then we're going to go grab it from Design Space. So we're going to click on Upload, then we're going to click on Upload Image. We're going to browse, and this is when you're going to go get it exactly where you saved it on your computer. So here we're going to click on Upload, and then you need to select it right here and click Add to Canvas. So I'm going to show you two different techniques to make this two-in-one project. Although I'm going to end up by making it on a mug, I want to show you what you could do if you make it on a tote bag and a t-shirt first. So this design is 8.7 inches. So that's usually the size I like for tote bags or for t-shirts. So since we're using Infusible Ink, we're not going to be cutting it into different colors. So right away, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select all of it and I'm going to weld it because I want to cut it in one single Infusible Ink sheet. So right here, I'm going to use weld. Now, if you're done and you're going to cut this in Infusible Ink, this is what's going to happen. The Cricut is going to cut this into the sheet, and then you're going to remove everything that you don't need. That is called weeding. So you're going to only keep the letters. That means that all the rest of the Infusible Ink will be thrown away into the garbage, and I don't like that. I don't know, if you're as thrifty as I am, you're probably going to take your scissors and cut as closest to the letters as you can to keep as much Infusible Ink intact as possible. But I want to show you another way, and that's the way of making a two-in-one project. So I'm going to cancel. So what I found is that if you cut the letters into another shape, then you could do a two-in-one project. Let me show you. You can use whatever shape you want. You can use some shapes right here. If you are a Cricut Access member, you could use some shapes right here too. And you can also go into images and search. I like to search sometimes for paint splash or paint. Search for paint and you might have, some kind of paint splashes like that. So if you're a Cricut Access member, you'll be able to use them. I'm going to show it to you with a simple circle shape. So let's go back into the Canva and we're going to draw a shape. Let's do a circle. So I'm going to do a circle that is bigger than my design, but still it needs to be at least 11.5 inches because Cricut won't cut as large as 11.5 inches in Infusible Ink. So let's go and type right here 11.5. Now we don't see our design, so we're going to right click on the mouse and we're going to send it to back. So now our text is a little bit big, so I'm going to scale it down. So now the Cricut is going to cut the letters and the circle, but they're going to cut it separately. So in order to cut them one on top of the other, I need to attach. So we're going to select all and we're going to attach. So now you see exactly where the Cricut is going to cut. So I'm going to detach because I really want to show you the slice. So while both are selected, I'm going to select slice. So I'm going to remove one of them because I don't need both. And the reason I did that is to show you that when it's going to cut in the Infusible Ink sheet, you're going to be left with two things. Well, three. But you're going to be left with this, and you're going to be left with a circle with the letters inside. So you're going to be able to take both of them and use them for two projects. So the reason I like Infusible Ink, it's because of the beautiful patterns. You see, this is the one I'm going to choose. It has really a nice pattern to it. But if your letters are too small, you won't be able to see the pattern. So on the left side, you're really going to see the pattern, no problem. But on the right side, you might have more difficulty to see it, especially if it's really small on a mug, as I want to do it. So I have a second technique that I want to show you that is also pretty cool. So I'm going to take this one because this is my original file still, and I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm just going to go a bit down to make another example. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put it inside a circle again. So let me draw another circle at 11.5 inches, as I said before. And I'm gonna send it to back. Let me put it aside right now. What I'm gonna do with this one is that I'm gonna make an offset. So let me click here and offset. Offset will do a shape all around the letters. So you see it appearing right here. And what you're looking for is that you don't have anything open. It needs to touch everywhere. So it makes a closed shape. So you see it's a bit open right here. I need to scale this down anyway. So I'm gonna really offset it again. Let's see, it doesn't touch. I'm gonna put it to 0.3 instead of 0.25. Okay, so now everything touches and I'm going to click apply. You can see in the layer panel, you have your original design and we have the offset. The offset result, we're gonna click on contour and remove all the little holes inside. In order to do that, really simple step, you just need to click hide all contours. And the biggest shape that is at the top will stay there. And just need to click on the X. Without touching anything, I'm just gonna select both of them now and I'm gonna subtract. I'm gonna subtract the letters from the offset in order to make a hole in it. So this is almost the same thing as slice, but it's gonna do it in one shot. Now, let me tell you something right now. If you are confused with all these tools right here, the combine tools, the slice, the weld, the attach, the flatten, I have something free for you at the end of this video, so stay tuned till the end because you're gonna want this. So you see now we have a beautiful design. And what I'm gonna do, same as we did before, I'm gonna put it inside the circle and we're gonna slice it again. So again, with the slice result, you can remove the top one. I'm gonna keep the two right here. And it's only in order to show you that we're gonna be left with two things again, except that the first one will be like this, exactly as we did before, and the second one will be like this. So in my opinion, I think that in both of the projects at the bottom right here, we're gonna see really more of the pattern of the infusible ink. That's really why I love this technique. It is pretty fun to do, and it really does something unique. So now that you know how to do this on t-shirts or tote bags, I'm going to show you how to do it with the mug setup. So do you know that you can open another window using the file and new window option right here? And right here in the home page, you're going to type mug setup. So you're going to need to go to Cricut projects and right here you have the mug setup. You're going to need to select the size of the mug you have. So I'm going to be using the Miami mugs that are kind of a pinkish color, and these ones are 15-ounce mugs. So I'm going to select the 15-ounce beveled straight edge. Click on customize. So again, I'm going to go back to upload image. Now the difference is that we already uploaded the image. So if we go to upload, it's going to be there already. So pretty simple. You click on it and you add to Canva. Now you're going to need to scale it down, of course. So I like to scale it a little bit down because I know I'm going to offset. So I'm going to scale it a bit more than I would usually do. Just a little note about the little mugs that you see here. These are just to know which side to make your design. So if you look at it, the handle of the mug is on the left side. That means if you hold your mug with your left hand, the design is going to be facing you. If you hold it with your right hand, the design is going to be on that side. So this is the side I want it. We're going to click on offset again. And now 0.25 might be a bit big because we really did scale it down a lot. I'm going to try 0.15. And when you try these numbers, just click beside it so it applies right here. See, I clicked in the white space right here and you see it did apply. I'm going to scale it down to 0.12. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to click apply. And again, while it's selected, I'm going to go to contour and hide all contours so it only keeps the biggest shape. Click on the X. Now something we forgot to do when I imported back the design is to weld it before. So I'm going to weld it so it only comes one color like this. And then I'm going to select both of them using Shift and I'm going to subtract. And now we don't need to add another shape like the circle we did previously because the mug setup already has this rectangular shape that's going to wrap around the mug. So that is pretty cool. So I'm going to select this rectangle and we're going to slice it. As I said before, the black one, we don't need it. And now again, we are with the same result that we have. So we're going to be able to make a mug with this one and a mug with this one. Now we don't need both in order for the Cricut to cut it. So either we leave it like that and you understand that the Cricut is going to cut everywhere and we're going to be left with the two designs, because if we left both of them there, it's going to cut twice and that's not what we want. So the mug design is made that this little line will also cut the liner through. So it really helps you to put it on the mug. This is really particular to the mug. So I'm gonna need to do a final step, that is to attach everything. So let me attach, and then we're gonna be ready to make it. And in Infusible Ink, like heat transfer vinyl, we need to cut it reverse side. We need to cut it in mirror because we're going to be applying like this to the mug. I'm going to show it to you later. So we click on mirror and then continue. We're going to select Infusible Ink sheets. So in the materials, we're going to search Infusible Ink. And then it really says make sure mirror is turned on and the materials is inked side up. Now let me just talk to you a bit about Infusible Ink and the reason why we need Infusible Ink to make this two-in-one project. Infusible Ink is a Cricut material that needs to be applied with heat. So you're going to need a heat press for this. Furthermore, it needs a special blank, and that's why I'm going to be using Cricut mug blanks with the Cricut mug press. But you could use other blanks that are suitable for sublimation, meaning that it's made out of polyester for fabric or it has a special coating like these mugs. Now, why can't I do this with HTV? Well, I don't know if you ever tried heat transfer vinyl or even regular vinyl, but when you weed it, meaning when you remove the parts that you don't want, it just doesn't stay together. Infusible ink, it's kind of like cardstock. When you remove the parts you don't want, it's really thick, it's really rigid, so you'll be able to keep it in one piece. So these are the Infusible ink I'm going to use, and if you want to know everything I use for this project, don't hesitate to go to my blog. The link will be below this video. So as Design Space said, we need to put it on the mat with the ink face up. Let me show you the behind is kind of a shimmery plastic, so really ink face up. So I will be cutting it and I will show you how to remove the design from each other and make the two-in-one project. So I've put it back on my mat because it wanted to curve, but as you can see it did cut through the liner for the shape of the mug. So I'm going to need to remove the sides, because these are the sides that's going to be sticking to the mug. And what you want to look for are the letters. Now, you remember the shape that we did? Remember the shape that we did that we offsetted? This is what we want to remove. We want to remove this to make another mug. So we're going to need to remove this shape, and you can use your designs like this. Try not to break it. And we're going to leave the letters there, and we're going to leave the rest of this there too. So here we go. You see it really holds together. That's why I'm telling you that you can't do this with HTV. And now, I don't know if you noticed, but that's why we also cut it reverse in mirror, because we're going to apply the ink facing the mug. So this is the design we're going to get. But you see, we're missing the centers of the O, the L, the Y. So we need to come and get it right here. And don't lose them, I'm telling you, because we're going to need to put tape and really fix it pieces by piece for the inside of the letters. There's not really many of them. The L, the O, the O, the O, and the center of the Y. So it's not too many letters. So for the first design, you just need to wrap it around the mug. And this kind of mug is easier to do it face down. Just add some tape to the border and put it into the mug press. For the second design, you're really gonna need some heat-resistant tape to secure all the design, especially the inside of the letters that we set apart. Then add some butcher paper and put it into the mug press. Also, be sure to wait that the mug is completely cold to touch to remove the infusible ink. These mugs are super cool. Tell me, which one do you prefer? Thanks for being there. Bye bye.